Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to make pear butter. I don't know if you've ever had that before. I've had apple butter before and different fruit butters, but we were with a friend's house last weekend and she made homemade ice cream and one of the toppings was this pear butter and it was so delicious. So she gave me the recipe. I've never made it before, so we're going to get to create together today, and let's go right in. So I'm going to start peeling these, and I'll chit chat as we go along. But yeah, so their neighbor had has pears, fresh pear trees, and so she had an abundance of pears. She's like, "Would you like some?" And I'm like, "Yeah, definitely. Who can say no to that?" Um, so anyways, her pear butter, it had pumpkin pie spice and some other spices. I think there was, I'm trying to think, I know there was cloves, sugar, but we'll go over it all together here. But this is going to take me a while. I did rinse these in a cold water bath with some a few tablespoons of vinegar. Let that soak about 20 minutes. And yeah, dried them off. And so I'm not that skilled with making things with pear, but I get these kind of pears, which I already forgot what kind they are. I probably should have looked it up before I got on the video. But I guess they're better when they're yellow. And you got to be careful because they go ripe. It's like they go from not ripe to extremely ripe. So I'm just going to go and peel all these yellow ones. And I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me through this. So, but yeah, we're just gonna peel it. Now, I've seen recipes out there that they keep the skins on there. And pear skins are so very thin, so it probably, once we use an emulsion blender at the end, when we go to mix this up, it probably would pulverize it. But I don't know, I just wanted a smooth, creamy texture, just like my friends. So I'm going to go to that. This is a very messy, juicy step. So we're going to go ahead and peel all the ones we're going to use and we'll come back, all right? All right, welcome back. So what I have cut up about 16 pears maybe. And I thought I would show you how you core them. So the easiest way, I mean, you can just, if you don't have one of these devices, this is an apple core, and this is like so easy. I got this one at Pampered Chef, yeah. So you just kind of flip your pear over and see where this middle part is, and you're just gonna put that right on top of there and push down. Be careful, it is sharp. And you just give it a twist and check that out. There's the core right in there. And we're gonna dump that out. And I'll do one more. You can always, if you got a big stem on there, I cut it off. Yeah, I have a little bit of skin there. There's a couple tough spots. If you find some bad spots in the pears, you just want to cut those out. And so here we go again, taking that and putting it right in the center and push it down. This just makes your life so much faster. There's different ways I've done it. I've used a melon baller, like cut the apple or pear in half and then scoop out. But this is like so way quicker. So, yep, then you're just going to cut it in half and you're going to give it some slices. And you're just going to put it in like chunks, almost like bite size, even though this is going to cook down. You just want it to cook evenly for you, and that's a good way to do it. And don't worry about them turning brown, because you're going to be having sugars in there, and it's going to be browned anyway from all the caramelization of the sugars. And we do it near the end, put some lemon juice in there, so also for fast, so you're just going to slice that up. Like it doesn't have to be precise because it's all going to cook down. And I was slicing these up and I'm thinking of, oh man, all the recipes, because I still have a whole nother bowl of pears that aren't ripe enough yet. Because a couple of them, I will say the greener ones, which you're supposed to wait until they're yellow skin. Definitely they were like partially a little tiny yellow, and I used them, and they weren't as ripe. They were harder to cut through, so you really kind of do have to wait for them to get yellow. So go ahead. You see how much there? There's like about 16 or so pears. I'm going to dump it in here in my pot and see how filled up that pot is. And I'm going to wash my hands because they are sticky. This is a sticky job. But somebody's got to do it. It's worth it in the end. So I'm going to put it on 8, and we're going to let it come to a simmer before we turn it down, and we're just going to let it reduce down. So now I took some of my ingredients. I used a 1/4 cup of sugar in the raw. It's just one of the sugars that you can use, granulated sugar. And then I used a 1/2 cup of the state sugar. I've never made pear butter before, but I use that a lot too. So I'm going to give that a try and see. I can use coconut sugar, or like I said, any kind of sugar, but I like these better. So I'm going to put that. So that's like a 1/2 cup of sugar. I think I'm going to probably need more altogether, but I like my things a little less sweet. So if you might need a whole cup of sugar. It really depends on your taste, and I'm going to give that a mix through. And near the end, we're going to add a little bit of, after these cook down, we're going to add a little bit of vanilla extract and a little bit of lemon juice. But now my friend told me, let me back up. My friend told me she used a lot of pumpkin spice and cinnamon. I think she used a couple other spices. Oh, I don't have that much left of that. I have like a teaspoon left of that. So we're going to have to, and she said she doesn't like nutmeg, so I like nutmeg. So I'm going to use a full 1/4 teaspoon of ginger because I am low on pumpkin pie spice, and I think I'm low on cinnamon, but I have a whole nother, I've got like a teaspoon there. I'm probably going to add another teaspoon. I have a brand new container of cinnamon. We use a lot of cinnamon in our house. And then we're going to use some allspice. This is going to give it nice, warm. All these earthy spices, they're going to give this a nice, warm depth to it. So I used like a 1/4 teaspoon. Probably could have used a little bit more on that. But I'd rather like just use this little, and then I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. And cloves is very, very strong. So you don't want to overdo it on that, because you can always add more spices if you need to. And then we're just going to dump that in. It's going to smell like Thanksgiving. And let me get my nutmeg out there. I used the whole nutmeg. You can use ground nutmeg. You don't have to have this. Let's see if I can find my microplane. I'll tell you, this microplane, this is like one of the best buys, because you can grate cheeses. You can do this, and there you have some fresh nutmeg. I'm gonna go over that a little bit. Probably using like equal to a 1/4 teaspoon. Oh, that smells so good. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I really feel like this is gonna definitely need more sugar, but I'm gonna let this cook down a little bit, and we will see you back in a little bit. And we're gonna probably put, I think, like a cup of water in here. Let's do that now before I put you on pause. Let's see, where's all my measuring cups? I've been using it. Let's see, use this one. Now my friend, she cooked hers in a crock pot for several hours. but I don't have time to do that today, so I'm just going to do it on the stovetop. It'll take a lot less time. But the nice thing about the crock pot is I think it caramelizes everything really nice. But look at it already. Can you see? Let me turn my camera. Let's see if you can see. Oh, you probably can't see it too good. There you go. Now you can see better. So this, I think this is going to still caramelize pretty nice. Oh, I wish there was smell-o-vision because this smells so good already. Yummo! I love this fall stuff. And we're going to let that simmer down. It's going to take like about an hour. And we'll continue, and we'll see you back here in a little bit. Oh, sorry that vent was in your way. Here, I'm going to lower this camera before I go so you can get it good. I'm going to come over there and let you see. Yeah, there we go. So that's going to simmer. We'll see you later. Bye. All right, so I thought I would just come back and let you show that how I've got that really bubbling nice. And I think this has been on here for 10 minutes. So look how much those pears cooked down. What did I say? Like I had at least 16. I think maybe 18. But so they were like medium to some of them were large size pears. So I'm going to give that a stir. I'm going to put it on a low simmer and put the cover on. And we'll see you back. All right. Now we're all done with the finished product. Well, just about the finished product. And now I'm just going to blend it with an emulsion blender. That's one of these type of blenders. And you can stick it in hot liquid. Now I ended up letting this simmer for, ended up taking a couple hours. I had it on low for the longest time. Then I turned it up to about, I think it was 3, close to 4 for a little bit, maybe like 40 minutes. So it could really reduce down, but let's take a look at it and you'll see. I'm going to try to tilt the pot a little bit and show you it's a little chunky because we have to blend it down. But I tasted this, it tastes amazing. I did add a quarter of a cup of dark brown sugar, and I put a tablespoon, an extra tablespoon of cinnamon. So that's like a tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now I'm going to just, at the end here, I'm going to take a little bit of fresh lemon and it's like about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. There. This is a very juicy lemon, so I'm just going to give it even just that little bit. And then we're going to take a teaspoon, or maybe a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract and put that in there. And we're going to get the emulsion blender. Let me pull this over here so you can see. So I let it cook that long because I really wanted that liquid to reduce down and the richness, just have that nice caramelization going on. Now I noticed mine isn't as dark as my friend's, and I didn't have as much pumpkin pie spice as she had, but I did add other spices to it. It tastes really good. One thing that I put in there, well, she said she put cloves too. I think I used a little higher ratio cloves, but it tastes really good. I'll just mixing up really nice. Can you see it? And I probably could have reduced this down a little bit more because it's not as thick as my friend's. I said my first time trying, but it's pretty good. And I might reduce this down a little bit more. Blend it down. And probably I might have had a little bit better if I only put a half a cup of water. more pears. Let me taste the flavor now and the texture now that I've blended it down. Let's give it a try. This, like I said, is going to be delicious on vanilla ice cream, pancakes, waffles. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Oh my gosh. Toast, if you have yourself toast in the morning, French toast. I could just eat a gallon of this, y'all. This is really good. Like I said, I think it's a little bit on the thinner side than what my friend's is, but it's still just as tasty. Now hers is a lot darker, I think, because she did do it in the crock pot. You see the difference between mine, the darkness. So I don't even know if it was more cinnamon. Hers is definitely very caramely tasting. Look at that. Actually, let me get a little bowl to put that in. But it's just as delicious. So hers, see how hers is definitely thicker and richer. Let's see that. Hers is sweeter. They're both good. Different good. And I like this as much because I don't need it as sweet. But that will make a difference too, as the sugar is going to thicken out. So what I'll do is I'm going to reduce this down a little bit more. But just so I can get it thicker a little bit. I really don't want to add more sugar though, because I feel like it's just will be too sweet. Let me taste this one more time. They're both really good. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna, one point I do want to, before I leave, I do want to let you know that I'm gonna let this cool down, and I'll put it in the fridge, and then I'll put some of them in the freezer proof little jam jars that you can get at the store, and then some I'll put in freezer bags. Once this cools down, I'll probably put the whole pot in here like this in the fridge. You can store apple butter opened in your refrigerator for about 3 weeks. One idea my daughter-in-law had was a great idea. Just put them in smaller portion bags. That way, you know how much you're going to use in a week or 2 weeks. I hate when you have a big bottle of something and only lasts a few weeks, and you don't use it for one reason or another. So I think I'll portion mine out in smaller smaller freezer bags and put them in the freezer so I can pull them out and have it ready whenever I want it. That's really good. So anyway, I hope you tried that video out and try this recipe out, and remember to hit that subscribe button, and let me know if you tried this. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.